Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me, no. Dying don't agree with me, no. All you board ghosts, come with me, we're going home.
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories, for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is a continuation of our game, Star Wars, Age of Rebellion.
Yeah, Age of Rebellion. I think we need a campaign name, but I'll get that together later. We'll figure that out. We still need a name for your damn squad, too, but I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire until after.
Children of the Space Cab.
I like that.
Space Cabs?
Space Cabs?
Space Cabs.
Has many different meanings.
All right, so I am one of your players, one of your humble players, John Holt, with me.
As most always, Ken Breese. Hey, Board Ghost, good to hear you, or have you hear us once again. Thank you for being with us.
Steve Moverley.
And Stacey Douglass Moverley.
All right, so we are continuing our game of Star Wars Age of Rebellion. This is going to be the third installment in this story now.
Yeah, definitely.
This is a direct continuation from the last episode. Ken has been our SL, our game master.
Sith Lord? Is that what I said? Boo. Cael's turning into the Sith Lord, I believe.
No. He's just...
he's just,
He's just
going dark.
exploring his dark side.
Exploring the dark side, of course. Last session was a lot of fun, and we left it on a fun little cliffhanger. Tendaar, who is Steve's character, our engineer, was in prison. He had been imprisoned in a detention center on an Imperial space station that the group had infiltrated called the Hammer. The reason they were there, to find a mysterious prototype space fighter, starfighter, that was labeled Operation Shellcracker, but they don't know much about it yet. Unfortunately, while they were able to sneak onto the ship, Cael the soldier and Zal the pilot and Tendaar the engineer, as well as M5, their trusty R2 unit, were looking for clues, trying to figure out how to get into the restricted areas of the base. But unfortunately, through that process, they sort of didn't blow their cover, but they did get their friend Tendaar and M5 into trouble, and they were imprisoned in the detention center.
Thanks, guys.
Our heroes then...
All according to plan.
Exactly. Our heroes then decided the best bet from there on would be to go and free Tendaar and the droid right away. Surprisingly, Tendaar was able to find other rebel prisoners already held within the detention center. A group that you may, in fact, think, Tendaar, are the missing special ops team from Whisper Base, the base that you were sent out from with your strike force. Last session, right at the end, Cael, our soldier, and Zal were attempting to bluff their way into the detention center. And I think we're going to start off our session right away.
All right.
So if you could please make a daunting, that is 4 purples, a daunting deception, charm, or leadership check. You guys can work together on this, of course. Booyah.
Success.
Booyah.
Wow.
Indeed. And what is success? Meaning 1.
But that's one with no threat?
One with no threat, no nothing, just a straight up success. You guys are able to bluff your way into the detention center. The guards sort of wave you ahead and say, the droid's down the hall. They say, just deactivate the force field and get him in there. What was that fish man, drunk or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, he gets to be a little bit rowdy. I do apologize for him.
They shrug and they say, well, here's some binders, and they throw them to you.
All right.
I appreciate it. I go ahead and take them.
And they nod and sort of don't really pay much attention to you. Though there are the other 4 guards that I mentioned. There are 6 in this detention center, 2 at the desk at the front that you just have charmed your way past, and now 4 others who are sort of stationed, and they are obviously watching you very closely. They don't have any helmets on, so you can see their eyes moving as they watch you guys very closely to see what you're doing.
I just smile at them as we go past.
They don't
Hello,
seem to
gentlemen.
react.
Are you sure? Listen, I'm not feeling comfortable in this situation. Could 2 of you escort us into the prisoner?
And they nod at that, and they say, they sort of like, yeah, you should be afraid of this fish man. And they sort of like bring their guns. They have blaster carbines. You know those to be heavy ranged weapons. KL, they're pretty brutal. They also have blast vests on and military comlinks on their wrists. As far as you can tell, they're big beefy soldiers.
All right.
Part of the Imperial security.
Can you open this gate?
And
Open
one
to
of
drop
them
the
just sort
shield.
of bzzz, like hits a button, and the red force field that had been keeping Tendaar and M5 secured in the cell is opened.
So as we walk past, we've noticed these guys.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me, Zal. Yes, you 2 do recognize that there are the other rebels in the cell. Very briefly, there are 5 of them. They all look like they're a unit, maybe a special ops unit of some type. You had heard that a special ops unit had been lost from Whisper Base. They didn't know where they were, but perhaps these are them. They looked like them. They look like rebels for sure. The leader is a big burly human. It looks like there's a very young man who seems to bear a family resemblance to him, maybe a brother or a cousin or something like that. There is a purple-skinned man. There is a swarthy-skinned woman, and these are all humans, and then, except for the purple-skinned guy who's like a near human. And then there's a goat man, a goatal is the name of their race. The goat man is savagely beaten by the Imperials and is basically unconscious on the floor. The swarthy-skinned woman also looks like she's been savagely beaten, though not as badly. The purple-skinned guy looks like he has lost an eye, like someone ripped his eye out during interrogation, and he seems like he's going to have a nervous breakdown at any moment. The leader, the big bear guy, looks like he is trying to keep everybody together, but he's definitely running out of steam himself, whereas his young cousin or brother or whatever doesn't look like he's had a hair touched on him, which it stands out to you very much that he hasn't been messed with at all. And that's what you guys see as you pass those rebels, and they all sort of look up at you like, what? Except for the unconscious ones and the beaten ones, obviously. And the Imperial security personnel take you over to Tendaar's cell, open it up, the force field up, and sort of not usher you in, but just sort of wait for you to go in.
I really would feel better if you guys would handle the binders situation.
And they nod. This is what they're trained for. They're very happy. They move in like they're putting their guns away, and one of them's pointing at you, Tendaar. Hands behind your back, fish man.
Okay. What? But okay.
You didn't tell me that the access panel was this type of droid. This is gonna. Excuse me. Can one of you bind him? I need another set of arms.
And so one of them is like going to bind you while the other one was sort of holding the gun on you. I think at this point, KL, you should make a negotiation check.
It's a bounce with a lot of advantage.
Okay.
Well, an advantage.
Yep. Cool. An advantage. Awesome. They look up, or they don't, one of them looks at you and says, protocol, hold on a second. And they get you in the binders. And then
Are they behind my back? Or?
Yep. One of them is grabbing your arms and putting them behind your back and binding
Okay.
them. The other one had a gun on you. As you're bound, the one with the gun on you drops the gun and starts to move over to you to apparently help you with the droid.
I need you to lift this off the ground.
All right. And he sort of lifts it off the ground. And the other one is sort of behind you. He has his hand on your shoulder now, Tendaar. And the blaster carbine isn't necessarily stuck right into your back, but
I
you
can
see
see
it sort of dangling.
Okay.
Like he has it in his hand, obviously.
So I'm going to get down and reach towards my tool belt and past it to my vibro knife.
Cool.
And so I'm sort of under the droid that's being held by this guy. And I'm going to gesture to you when I'm kind of under the droid to like scoop, to go around.
Back behind.
Yeah, to like kind of
Where fishy
start
is.
working around.
Awesome. It sounds to me like violence is about to happen.
Could you be a little careful there with his arms? I use this guy for carrying
I
stuff
need
all the
my
time,
arms.
and
I need my arms.
he had a shoulder injury, and in all honesty, it's like, he carries stuff for me. I really need him to be
And
kind of
I'm going to need you to hold this
I'd really
steady.
appreciate
This is
like,
really a
that.
mess.
If you really don't mind doing
it sounds
that.
to me like action is about to
maybe
to
if we
take
could move
place.
his arms to the front instead of the
So
back.
you're
I'd
distracting
really
them for
appreciate
sure,
if we could
and
actually
it sounds
do
like
that
you
way
guys should
instead.
make cool checks. Anyways, you do, as a matter of fact, go first, Tendaar, in this scenario. you are bound. There is an Imperial security officer, or soldier behind you. What would you like to do, if anything? Your friends are obviously distracting them. You've noticed that Cael is sort of taking out his vibro knife. It's very clear to you that something is about to go down.
I will try to, hey, buddy, careful with that, and kind of throw myself backwards, trying to knock the guy
Totally.
behind
That
me.
works perfectly for me. I need you to make a melee brawl check, please. There'll be an average check for you. Very nice. You're able to succeed with one threat, meaning that you totally are able to smack down and you get him on the ground, like you just topple him with your weight, but you take one strain to do so. As you sort of get the wind knocked out of you just a little bit. After you, it would be Zal's turn.
I guess try it because he's kind of knocked into him. Just try and get in there and be like, careful there, and see if I can disarm the guy. Like in the thing. Like I'm just trying to help them up or something, but I'm trying to get the gun away from him.
So you're trying to disarm who now?
Trying to disarm the guard.
The one that got knocked down, or the one?
No, the one that got knocked down.
The one that got knocked down. You're trying to help him up.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
cool. You can
come on,
quite easily
can I
pull
help you?
his heavy blaster carbine away from him. It is a ranged heavy weapon. If you have a ranged heavy skill, you could use it. So basically, you just pulled it away from him. Is there anything you'd like to do more than that?
You got the vibro knife. I might as well go for it, I guess. All right.
Who you want to shoot?
The carbine will make a lot more noise than a vibro knife would, if that enters your calculus at all. You can also use the carbine as a club, if that's something you wanted to do. But yeah,
see if I can knock him out. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that.
Okay,
Just
go
try
ahead
keep
and
it
make
quiet.
a melee a brawl for me, please. Nicely done. You guys sort of overwhelm him. Unfortunately, he moves his head right out of the way as you sort of knock it on the ground, and there's a sort of a dull thunk as the blaster carbine hits the permacrete, or the permasteel rather, of the floor. The Imperials go. The one who you took the blaster carbine away is basically throwing Tendaar off of him, getting up, and then trying to grab the carbine back away from you, Zal. What is your brawn, Zal?
Can I knee him in the groin?
No, you cannot, unfortunately. Well, possibly. Let's see what the roll is, actually. But what's your brawn?
Brawn is 2.
2. So that will be the difficulty of his check. He just gets an advantage. He grabs it from you, and as you try to knee him in the groin, he throws the carbine in your way, and you knock your knee on the carbine, and it just is knocked out of his hands and your hands. Okay. As the carbine spins and knocks down on the ground, but neither of you have it. And you're like looking at each other, like tussling, basically, still. The other Imperial, the one who had been holding the droid, sort of looks around it to try and see what the fuck is going on.
Because there's a giant fishman kind of blocking it.
Well, the fishman's on the ground still, and you're now tussling with his buddy, and you're sort of on the other side of the droid. He doesn't even see you there.
Hold it steady.
He drops the droid and is obviously very confused about what's going on as he pulls out his blaster carbine and is just going to fire right at you, Zal. Yeah, he definitely misses. But he doesn't hit his buddy because he doesn't have any threat. Okay. So he fires, and it just sort of goes wide. But he fires blue concentric stun rings, you see. He's not firing an actual blaster bolt at this point. Okay. It's like, choo, 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 choo. You see sort of the concentric blue rings fire from this thing. It is your turn, Cael. What would you like to do? And so it does make sort of a noise, but not as much of a noise.
His
as
back
it was.
is to me, right?
No, you are crouching in front of M5, so you have cover from him. He can't really see what you are doing. He technically is looking right at you, but he's looking over you because you were crouching down. So he's looking over at this fight, not at you crouching down with your knife very stealthily getting it out. He doesn't see any of that.
Right. So I'm going to yell, "Get down, man!" and sort of leap towards him.
Okay.
Go for the...
Yeah, go ahead and make your attack. It's an average roll.
There's a triumph.
There is a triumph, which counts as a success.
And so, there's a success.
Well done. So, you totally triumphed, and you have an advantage. So, you could turn your triumph into an immediate critical hit, if that's something you'd like to do. Or you could have something else crazy and amazing happen. Triumphs are like a critical. What you sort of tell me narratively how this is going. And you got an advantage as well. So, you could regain some strain or give yourself a boost on your next something, that sort of stuff.
I will... Let's see. So I sort of do a lunging attack at this guy.
Yeah.
And he's pretty confused. Like, me yelling that got him, like, he's looking around. Like, there's some other threat. So he almost turns to another direction, like, what's going on? And that's when I jam the knife home.
Yeah. Are you criticaling him? Is that?
Yeah, I'm going to crit him.
Totally. Awesome. So I need you to roll a D100 for me after you tell me your damage that you do to him.
It's what, 5?
It is 5. Yeah. And you have pierce 2, I believe, because it's a vibro weapon. So you pierce through 2 of his soak.
Yep, pierce 2.
Mm-hmm. So he only is able to soak.
And it's 5 plus 1 damage for each uncanceled success.
Which you don't have any.
Well, that's
that's
right.
the 5.
That's the one that makes it. Okay.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, he does, like I mentioned, have that blast vest on, and so as you are shoving your vibro knife into it, it sort of deflects some of the damage.
All right, so we'll do 10's place first. So 83.
83. Awesome. Yeah, he starts bleeding, basically, and you can definitely tell basically ongoing damage is happening to him.
All right, and then I'll take 2 strain.
Yes.
To do a second maneuver.
Yes.
And I'm going to leap out of the cell.
Yeah.
Screaming, "We're going to need backup here. You two, come on." And the fishman's out of his binds.
Okay.
And then I'll hit the gate and close the door.
Yes, that's totally cool. Yeah, you do that. Perfect. Love it.
And so I take 2 strain.
You do. The droid goes. He, I guess, moves over to you, Tendaar, and goes as the binders pop off your hands.
Eureka!
And M5 goes, woo! And it is at the top of the round again. It is Tendar's turn. The force field is back up.
Force field's back up.
You're in here with Zal, 2 Imperial soldiers, jailers, if you will, and M5. Cael has stepped out of the cell and reactivated the force field. So you're locked in here with the 2 of them. One of them has obviously been stabbed and is a little bit hurt. He's bleeding.
Does he still have his gun?
He still does have his gun. He was the one shooting the stun.
I will use my blaster pistol on him.
Cool. Go ahead and make your attack. He doesn't have anyone engaged with him, so it'll just be an average roll because he's within very basically close range. Jerking your blaster pistol out sort of wrenches your wrist a little bit as you take 1 strain, but you are successful, and you'll do a full amount of damage plus 2 damage because of the 2 other additional successes. So how much damage do you do?
Damage is 6.
So you'll do 8 in total. He's going to soak 4 of that, so it only takes 4. But he is very wounded at this point as you blast into him, and he's already bleeding from the knife wound. Do you want to take a maneuver? Do you want to move or do anything? And you get the sense that your blaster pistol, firing it, the sound was sort of muffled since the force field is up.
Right.
Maneuvers are usually moving or aiming or
Taking cover.
Something taking cover. There's not really any cover in here, though. You're in a jail cell that has nothing in it.
Can engage.
Yeah.
I guess I'll close the distance between me and the bleeding guy I just shot just to make things a little more difficult
Okay,
for him.
cool. Yeah, you're rushing him, basically. Very good.
Yeah.
Zal, it's your turn.
I guess I just keep just trying to punch this guy or something.
Cool. You're doing fisticuffs with him.
Yep.
Go ahead and make a melee brawl. That was a failure, unfortunately, as he basically is. He seems to be a trained boxer as well, as he's sort of blocking you guys. It's obviously that he was imperially trained, just like you were to some degree. So your moves
Kind of matching each other.
are matching each other, yes, to some degree, exactly. And it is his turn, and he continues to fight you. But you get the sense that he has been trained more in blasters than fighting. But hey, who knows? Apparently, he has good enough, as he is able to do 5 damage to you. As he basically clocks you in the face.
Oof.
You soak that. You do soak. So
Yeah, soak value's 4.
so you only take 1 wound then as he basically clocks you in the face. He says to you, "Bring it on! Bring it on!" Like he definitely wants to fight.
You fight like a girl.
The other one is like bleeding super heavily, and sort of looks up at you Zal, as you say that and say, "But you're a girl." And he picks up his blaster carbine and tries to fire right into you, Tendaar, as you come up on him. But unfortunately, because you're closer, it's actually harder for him to hit you, as you're sort of in melee with him, as it were. And he is totally unable to do so. But he is able to activate his wrist comm as he says, "Prisoners are escaping! Send reinforcements!" And it definitely, you guys definitely get the sense that the alarm has been raised, at least here in the detention center. And it is your turn, KL.
So what are the other 2 guards doing in this sector?
Great question. You had said we need reinforcements. They haven't moved a muscle because of what you said. They maybe are looking at you a little bit more with more scrutiny, but they haven't moved to help you at all. After their buddy gives the sort of the calm alert, that's when they spring into action, and it seems like they're going to be moving more closer to you next round.
Next round. Okay.
They are basically at the end of this detention hall. So there's the hallway, there's the detention cell desk right at the front. Think of A New Hope. It's very similar to that corridor
So how
that
far
has
away are
different
they, would you say?
detention centers. I would say that they are a long distance from you currently. You guys are sort of at the back of the detention center hall, and we're stationed here and here. And then there are another 2 at the desk. So they are at the far end of the hall. So they're long distance from you.
So is
currently.
the ones at the desk, can they see what's going on down that hallway?
They're at extreme distance from you currently, and no, they don't have a very good line of sight to what's going on. But they definitely got the communication, the comm link. Yeah.
So I'm going to put my vibro knife in my armpit.
Okay.
And with the sort of like blood still on my hand.
Okay.
Like whip around.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, they got me, and kind of stumble towards them and stumble my way closer towards that other security vault.
Cool.
area,
The one with the other rebels in it?
which is like what closer?
Right across the street from you, as a matter of fact. So you stumble this way, maneuvering over there. I need you
And
to
as
make
I fall, I kind of like with a bloodied hand.
All right, I need you to make a deception check first.
Okay.
And this will be a hard deception check.
No, it's just a little advantage. That's
yeah.
about it.
So it is a fail, but it is a fail with advantage. As you fall to the ground, basically, your ruse, it's
Confusing.
basically what happens is you fall to the ground and the vibro knife slips out of your armpit and sort of skitters away from you. But at the same time, revealing that you're not stabbed at all. But at the same time, you are able to hit that force field control, and the rest of the rebels, their cell's open now.
All right, and I'll play possum for now.
Cool,
Just,
yeah.
Just
fall
add
to
to the confusion.
You fall to the ground playing possum, like just totally not moving at all. And they're like, wait, what? The droid goes. He will spray some smoke in this area, obscuring everything. So, just sort of spraying smoke all around you guys, sort of obscuring, the whole entire cell. Back at the top, it's Tendaar's turn. You're in an obscured cell. There is a soldier in front of you who you can still see pretty well. He just tried to fire a stun carbine at you, but you were able to knock it away.
I will attempt to shoot him again.
Cool. It is more difficult to shoot someone who's right in front of you when you're engaged with them.
That makes sense.
But you can totally do it. It is a hard check.
Or
Okay.
you just kick him in the face or something.
You could. You could melee. You could brawl him.
Yeah, that sounds better.
All right, you brawl him. That is an average check then.
Okay,
So make a melee brawl.
I will headbutt him.
Cool. Go ahead and make your melee brawl. And you do. And you take 2 strain as you sort of break open your skin on your forehead as you headbutt him. But as you headbutt him, he just goes unconscious, or are you trying to kill him?
I probably at this point just kill, I guess. Just
Yeah. You I mean, think of it this way.
I really am hanging out with the dark side, aren't I?
Think of it
Well,
this
no, it's like
think of it, he's an
the
Imperial
Imperials.
soldier.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Think of it this way. Your forehead,
Yeah.
remember, as a Mon Calamari, your head is just extended anyways. Like you have a huge brain cavity, but then your forehead is like a plate of bone and calcite.
Right.
It is a hard fucking surface, and you are able to definitely crash it right into him and basically cave in his face.
but like some fish oil.
Some fish oil does leak out of it. And you definitely just drop him.
Vitamin E.
And he goes down. Very good. Do you want to take any sort of maneuver or do anything else?
can I maneuver over by the other guy in some sort of helping?
You
Zal-
can definitely move to engage him if that's what you would like
Yeah,
to do.
sort of.
Yeah, it might distract him to some degree.
That was my goal.
Totally. And it is Zal's turn. Zal, you see Tendaar. You hear the thud of a body hitting the ground
crunch
in the
of a
smoke.
skull
Yeah, you hear
on
the
the face.
crunch of And just thinking about this again about Mon Calamari, they swim and dive under such pressures. Their whole world is an ocean. Like his entire body is meant to withstand the crushing pressure of the depths. Like he is a well-formed creature.
A hammerhead.
No one tell me I don't love fishmen, because I do. Awesome. It's your turn, Zal. What would you like to do?
I'll say, sounds like one's down and you're next. And I will brawl.
And he says, you haven't got a punch on me yet, Palooka.
We'll see about that.
All right, go ahead and make your attack.
I'm feeling lucky.
Yes, you are.
And I'm not lucky.
No. But you do punch him in the face, and his skull, his jaw is like steel as you take 2 strain, as you hurt your hand. Oh, it just hurts, and he just seems to take it like a champ, like it doesn't hurt him at all. And he just looks right back at you. And it is his turn as he attempts to brawl you. And he is unsuccessful, but does get some advantage and will give one of his friends a boost. The friends are moving towards UKL sort of suspiciously. They have their blaster rifles trained on you. They were long range, so they will take 2 maneuvers to just move over to you. So 2 more are coming down the corridor, and they basically get to within short range of you so they can see you a little bit more. There's only 1 left in the detention cell with Tendaar and Zal, and 2 more left at the detention desk that haven't really done anything yet, that are way down extreme range, far away from you. Additionally, the droid doesn't seem to know what to do and is just going, like it's near the force field, the red force field enclosing your cell, and is like really wants to get out, obviously. Additionally, the rebels that you have now freed, KL, they start to move into action. And one of them, the leader basically, comes around the corner and attempts to just deck one of the security personnel, and does so. Just decks him full out. And is definitely able to punch him in the face. So that happens. His younger sort of kinsman, the young guy, he also rushes out to try and punch the other one in the face, and is also successful to some degree. The purple-skinned guy with 1 eye, who looks like he's really hurt, he basically is crouching still, just sort of like rocking back and forth, like really almost like the verge of an emotional breakdown in the cell. The other 2 are comatose or unconscious, and they can't really get up.
So with those guys distracted, I'll come up with my heavy blaster and use my point blank skill.
Awesome, yes, because you can fire into point blank because you have that sweet talent. So you don't take any minuses to firing into melee then. Do you want to point at the one that's fighting the bear-like leader, or the?
Yeah, I'll go after the leader guy.
Okay,
the kid seems like he's in good shape. +1 for each uncanceled success.
Yep.
So that's going to be 11 damage.
Yes, exactly. And he's going to soak 4, so he'll only take 7 of that. But he looks really bad. Like another shot like that would kill him straight out. Like he took its full in the chest, and it looks like he's barely able to. The only reason he's still alive is because he's wearing the protective security armor, his blast vest, that soaked some of this damage. But other than that, I mean, he would be vaporized otherwise.
I will attempt to go around maneuver behind this guard, and kind of grapple it, like hold on to him so that Zal can get a shot.
Can get some good shots. Awesome. I need you to make a melee brawl. It'll be an average check as you attempt to just grapple this guy.
That did not
You are
work.
unsuccessful, and he headbutts you in the face as you take another strain 1, and you are unable to wrap him up, unfortunately. Zal, what would you like to do?
Just try and hit him.
Go ahead, make your attack. Yeah, you and Tendaar are sort of wrestling with this guy. He hasn't taken any damage, but his carbine is lost in the mist. No one knows where that is at this point. And the droid is going nuts, high-pitched whines and fluting sounds as you guys are just you like throw a haymaker at him, and he throws up his arms to block it, and he says, "Go back to the Imperial Academy, Punchy." He also attempts to punch you in the face, Zal. He is finally successful.
Oh man!
But he'll take
broken nose.
He will take strain though, as he hurts his hand on your face, and you take 3 damage. I don't know if you do. You might soak all of that.
Yeah, I soak 4.
Yeah,
so.
you soak 4. So he breaks his hand on your armor, basically.
He didn't
as he takes
estimate
some
how
damage.
much padding you had going.
Exactly. The other ones, they are fighting against the one who you shot. Tries to shoot at you for sure. He tries to shoot you, but someone's in his face and he's having trouble, and he is unable to, as that's a push. The other guy tries to shoot the warrior who he's fighting, and you helped the kid, right, John?
I helped the old man.
The old man, thank you. So the kid is the one who is being attacked by this, and it's not looking good for me. The kid seems to block and sort of riposte as he hurts the guy he's fighting. But the burly guy who you helped, John, is basically able to just choke out the Imperial soldier that you hurt.
Strangle him
Yeah,
down.
just strangle him. Just basically just overwhelm him with force and the bulk of his body, just like Rah! and he yells out. You hear this guy yelling, "This is for the Brealey family!" It's just like choking
him.
Yeah, choking him out. As that guy definitely goes down. Cool beans. It is your turn.
So I'm going to take a shot at the other guy.
Okay.
That's very
Those
good.
are so it's going to be +1 damage for each uncancelled success. So 13.
13. Please
Yeah.
describe for us how you defeat this guy.
He swung on the kid.
Yeah.
And the kid kind of like came down.
Not only did the kid come down, it was weird. It was like, and if you wouldn't known better, it almost seems supernatural. Where the kid was looking somewhere else, and this punch comes at him, and he just dodges right out of the way. It just misses him.
And that's when the guy kind of loses stumble
Yes,
and foot
exactly.
and almost comes right into my carbine and has one last look of recognition before he has no head.
Exactly. And the kid looks at you and gives you the thumbs up.
And I like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird. Something weird happened. Something that there's no way that kid should have known that was coming.
So, and then I'm going to rush back towards using my maneuver, turn back.
Which way?
Towards this kid.
Okay, you rush back basically over
Across
to the door.
the way, yeah.
You rush across the hall to the other door that you had closed originally.
Right.
You see a bunch of smoke in there, and you hear the of obviously a melee going on in there, and maybe some fishman sounds. The droid is obviously right there in front of you, like going nuts, like really wanting to get out. Yeah, the droid is obviously there going nuts, really wanting to get out of the detention center. The rest of the rebels, they're picking up the blaster carbines now of the guys that have been downed, and they're equipping them. One of them looks at you, the leader, and it says, "What's your name, soldier?"
I don't know if you have clearance for that.
And he says, "Well, whatever it is, thanks for the assist." And they say, "What should we do?"
Can somebody open the door?
Watch for those. Go take out those 2 guards down the way, as quiet as possible.
And
And you know what? Get on the comm links and say there's no problems here.
And they it looks like they're trying to take off, and they they turn back to you each time you're telling them to do something more.
Yeah.
And I go, wait, what?
Oh, hey, Ann.
Hey, give me a ham sandwich while you're out there.
And they finally
No mustard.
They pick them up and they rush down the hall basically, and you start to hear the sounds of blaster fire from off in that direction.
So since nobody's gonna help us with the damn door, so since I wasn't here, had some time before, would I have had time to sort of assess whether or not there's any way of opening this thing from the inside?
You're very sure there is not.
Okay.
But on your way in through the detention center, you definitely did see that obviously the desk, the security desk, has computer terminals there, and not only that, it looks like a jack where a droid could hook into if needs be.
Cool.
But other than that, no, you don't see any technology in the area that might be able to help you.
Okay.
You want to look for the gun? You should still have a pistol or something on you, right?
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Unless you're going to shoot me in the process, let's not do that.
I'll step back to try to get some distance from this guy.
There's a lot of smoke, so there's a condition it'll be harder to hit him the further you get away.
Right. So, is there some sort of sweet spot between too close and too... is it possible to be like point blank?
You want to just put the gun up against his head and say, you want to stop swinging now, buddy?
Point blank is difficult because if you're shooting point blank, it would normally be an average check to fire. It's a hard check to fire point blank because there's a lot of jostling that's going around. If you were to step back and fire, there would be smoke. So it would be an average check, but there would be some setback on top of that. So black dice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really good in a fight. I'll try to headbutt him. It worked with
Cool.
the other guy.
Headbutt him.
Let's just
Go ahead and make a
do this.
melee attack. Unsuccessfully.
No.
Well, rather, you do headbutt him, but it seems like he's able to get his elbow into your nose, and you take a point of strain as he sort of blocks this. And he's like, I can take you both on. Come on. Ah. And he seems to be he's almost like that guy, if you remember him
Well, yeah,
from... I'm thinking more the first Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, yes,
The only way to get him is that.
Underneath
Anyone
the,
got a
the
fighter
biplane.
plane?
Yeah, exactly. It's like that guy who's like squaring. He's taking off his shirt. He's bald.
But he's still soaking.
Yeah,
because
he's
of his
just
muscles.
so soaking wet. He's just like, he is fighting. He's ready to fight.
I guess I'll just try and hit him again.
You have a blaster pistol as well. I mean, you could step away and shoot at him if you want to, I guess. But yes, you
see,
could obviously keep fighting. It's maybe it's a point of honor at this point.
Actually, no. I'm going to use my heavy blast pistol on
Are you going to step away or are you going to fire point blank?
I'm going to fire point blank.
Cool. Then go ahead and roll 3 purple with whatever your skill is. Because you're firing into melee, if you do roll to spare, you will hit Tendaar.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Seems pretty good.
I was always better with a gun than my fist. I
Yes.
guess.
An important lesson was learned this day. So you succeed, and you have 3 additionally on top of that. So how much does your heavy blaster pistol do? Just base.
7 damage on a hit plus 1 damage for uncanceled success.
Which is 3.
10.
So you do 10 in total. He's going to soak 4 of that, so he only takes 6 damage, and he's still up.
Okay.
And he's like, ah! But you totally just fire right into his chest, basically. And he says, damn it, you witch! And it is his turn as he just rushes you, trying to take you out physically. Again, he doesn't have any weapons besides his fists because you pulled away his blaster carbine. And he is successful as he's able to punch you in the face for 5 damage.
Oh, jeez.
Does that get through your soak?
Yeah, you take
1 does, yeah.
Awesome. It also hurts his hand as he seems to break his hand again, even though he hurts you, or hurts his hand some more. He seems very, very hurt. And it is Cael's turn.
All right. So
Yes.
yeah. So I'm gonna palm the
Yeah.
the gate.
Smoke starts to filter out. You can't see anybody in there. It's all smoky. All right.
No.
So are you just firing randomly at any figure you see in there?
I'll use my force sensitivity. No. I can see the droid, and that's about it.
That's
right?
about it. You can see very shadowy figures and swirls of smoke in there, and you can hear the sound of fights. And you now hear the sound of blaster fire as well. And you saw like the muzzle of a blaster light up on your right, but it looked like a blaster pistol to you. You're very aware they
of
don't
that.
have blaster pistols; they have blaster carbines. So you're pretty sure
someone's
over there who's and then there's a fight on the left.
You guys got this. So I have opened the door. I'm gonna grab my vibraknife off the ground, which is just sort of skittered towards here, and head towards the. Actually, I'm gonna head towards some of the bodies. The sick people in the cell, yeah.
Cool. As you get there, you see that there's the near human male. He has like fairly purplish skin, like naturally. He looks up at you, and it's obvious to you that he's lost an eye, like it's been torn out of his head. And he looks at you, and he says, "Are you here to rescue us?"
I hope so.
He seems to perk up at that a bit. And he says, he sort of stammers, Yotu, he points at the Gotal man. He says, Yotu and Garn, they can't move. They need help.
All right, for my last thing, I'll toss him a stim pack, and I'll go towards the Gotul with another stim pack.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So you
That's
throw
all I
him a
got.
stim pack. Yeah. So immediately M5 hightails it out of the cell. And just is making their way towards the detention center's desk, where blaster fire is still continuing to happen from. Apparently, the Breeley brothers, or Breeley kinsmen, or whatever they are, they're out there firing. The near human male with purple skin introduces himself as Lek Huron, and he does put the stim pack into the woman. You definitely get the sense that she comes around, but that she cannot walk. Like she is beat up, too beat up to move underneath her own power. Though she is definitely alive. Go ahead and subtract 2 stim packs, or at least 1, I guess.
Yeah,
at this point.
I'll do 2. Is there a little less smoke now?
There's definitely less smoke now, yes. And you can definitely see the thing is open and Cael is there.
I will step out into the hallway.
Okay.
and turn and shoot at this guy.
Cool, totally. There's still a little bit of smoke in there, not enough to give you setback. So just go
I
ahead.
really run out of the cell.
Yeah, you're running out of the cell, and you look around and you fire back. Just go ahead and make a hard blaster, light blaster.
That did not work.
Nope, doesn't look like that worked. Yeah, you fire and just miss as it just sort of goes wide. But you're definitely out of the cell, and it's your turn, Zal. He's really hurt.
Shoot at him again.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Please describe for us how you defeat this guy.
I take careful aim, shoot him right between the eyes.
Nice.
And he drops. And
guys-
I'm like,
A lot
it's
of body,
about
like, face
time.
And it really is about time. And with that, you guys hear the blaster fire and cease at the front of the detention center, too. And you hear the sort of bare voice of that large guy saying, "Hey, we're all clear down here. Get out of here. Let's go." With that,
I'm gonna run
combat's
across.
done.
I'm gonna run
Yeah,
across
we're
the
gonna
way.
need help here.
Okay, so I run across to the other people. I have stim. We only have 5 on us total.
Yeah.
5 each.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
going to use
well-
another one on the goat man.
The goat man, he is barely conscious, and as you sort of put the stim pack into him, he definitely comes around, but it looks like his legs have actually been, like, one of them's literally been broken. Like, he cannot, you get the sense that 2 of these people will not be able to walk without assistance.
Can I use my medical knowledge to splint their legs in any way?
Definitely. Yeah, go ahead and make a medicine check.
Use some of the armor from the...
Yeah, from the.
This will be a hard check. This is going to take a little while, Tendaar, but you definitely are able to do it. And you think that he could definitely walk, though he'll probably move slow. It looks like only one person can't walk then without help.
I'll help the Gotal if you guys can help the woman.
Huron, the purple skinned man, says, "I'll help Garn," and he helps her up basically, and is helping her. The Gotal can move under his own very tender sort of. He puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "Thank the gods that you've arrived. I prayed. You can't imagine the terrors these Imperials have inflicted upon us."
So I'll search the guards. What are their security?
Sure. These guards have high security clearance. They also have
Is high going to restricted?
yes. They also have blaster carbines, which are ranged heavy weapons, blast vests, which give you a +1 soak, and they have military comm links as well.
All right, so I'm going to...
Do you want to change clothes yet again?
Well, I think we should put some of the other guys too in.
So far,
Yeah.
you think maybe about 3 minutes have passed since the end of your fight.
I'll get on the comm and be like, situation normal, reporting situation normal.
Cool.
And, or do you want to do that since you know Imperial speak?
No, that's.
All right, you got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you get on the comm. You're all situation normal. Situation normal. Okay, so you're Cael running over here to the desk, obviously, to do that. You
Yeah.
see that M5 is also plugged into the security desk here, and that the 2 humans are there. The bigger one introduces himself as Natus Breely. You get the sense that he definitely has a past as a smuggler and or bounty hunter. He is frighteningly intense. He is just like, he is very, very jacked up. But you get the sense that he is basically still moving through sheer determination of will. He is
Can I hand you here a stim pack, sir? We need everybody to be as good as we can get them.
He says, yeah, hit me.
Okay, so I give him.
Thanks,
the stim pack.
darling. And the younger man is his cousin. His name is Ty Breely. Apparently, he's the team's technical expert. Like I said, he has not been damaged at all. It's kind of odd. And he also seems to is a little anxious about it. Like he doesn't even know to some degree what's going on.
I think you're the tech expert, kid.
He nods. He says, "You brought M5."
You know this droid?
Yeah, he works at Whisper Base like we do.
Whisper Base. You know Whisper Base?
He says, "Yeah, that's where we're based. We're part of the Whisper Base complement. We're the special ops team. They didn't send you to rescue us?"
They told us the ops team wasn't here.
Well, we were on a mission somewhere else, and they brought us here once they captured us. You can make, I guess, a good check to see if he's lying.
Deception? No, not deception.
I'm thinking
Perception?
Yeah, perception might be good. You spectacularly do not trust him. Well, what happens is a voice comes back over the comm to you, and it says, "Thanks for checking in. You have another 10 minutes before your next check-in." And your time clock resets.
Over.
Yeah, you get the sense that they check in pretty regularly here, and if you don't check in, something will happen. But you guys obviously have to leave at some point, so you won't be able to check in at some point. So if the getting's good, probably it's the best now. Now it's probably, if you're gonna run, now is probably the best time to run. What else did you get on your check?
Right there.
Cool. So you succeeded and you failed.
But I got
Those are all.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. And so I know it looks like there should be successes. I know. You definitely don't know. You can think whatever you want. Obviously, you failed. For the two of you, you guys get the sense that this kid is being truthful with you, that he, as far as you can tell, he believes everything he's saying. You also get the sense that he is very sort of in shell shock and confused, but also that he wants to step up to the plate because he is the least hurt in his squad and he wants to, protect them. And in fact, Tendaar, you feel an odd connection with this guy, almost like that as he starts to work with M5, that he has a special connection with droids or something like that. There's something about this kid and his he's either some savant or a genius or something, because what he's able to do with the droid and with the security desk is nuts. He's definitely able to successfully basically gain access to the network here and is able to sort of find any information if you guys are looking for something like that.
I'm going to be very impressed. And slightly, his relationship with droids has endeared him to me.
What was your mission as the special ops?
The leader, Natus, the others are sort of walking up more slowly. He says, "Well, we were supposed to take out an Imperial outpost over on." He basically says some planet that you've never heard of. He calls it Fashu, on Fashu, a nearby sector. But the Imperials set a trap for us. They knew we were coming.
And then they brought you back here?
They've been interrogating us for days, trying to find out where we came from. We haven't told them anything about the base, though, or the mission.
Well, here's our new mission. Should we tell them?
Yes. I trust these guys.
There's a prototype ship.
Prototype?
On this base. We got to get in, either get away with it or destroy it. And in the meantime, if we want to make a quick, safe getaway, we're going to have to get rid of the shields on this place and try to deal with some of the defenses.
Natus says, "Well, if you're trying to take us into a restricted area, we're going to stick out like sore bantha thumbs."
Well, I'm thinking...
Can we change a couple of you guys into these guard uniforms?
I mean, I can wear one and Ty can wear one, but the others...
If Ty's teched out, should he be going...
The technician garb you had on before.
Yeah. We could send him off to... If he's up for it, he might have to go solo or just with the droid.
Why don't you come with me, Tendaar?
I can go with him.
Yes.
All right.
So Ty and Tendaar and M5 are going to go to engineering, it sounds like, to try and figure out defenses and shields and technology. What are the rest of you doing?
Do we want to cause a commotion while we go in to try and disarm some of the other ships? Or do we want that explosion to happen when we go after the
You also know
prototype?
you only have 10 minutes after you leave this place, meaning the detention center, before the alarm is basically raised.
I mean...
It might be better to wait on blowing the ship until we definitely need a distraction.
And we also have some people who are going to be a little slow if we got to get in and out quick.
Right, that's the other question is, should we, since they can't really move at the moment, do we need to do something where we leave somebody here to buy us an extra 10 minutes?
I think that's what we do. I think the Gotal and the Cyclops are going to have to stay here with the woman.
Natus says, negative. I'll stay. My people need to get out.
They'll get out. We'll buy them time, but we're going to need you to get through.
Make a negotiations check, please. And this is going to be a daunting check. He's quite the negotiator.
Was that
It's 4. Yeah, he's quite the negotiator. Don't forget you have Destiny, obviously. If that's
I'll use Destiny. Sure.
Cool. Yeah, it seems as if Natus Breely, the head of this rebel cell or rebel squad, and Cael are sort of butting heads about what to do. And Cael seems to convince Natus that his idea is the best, And indeed, Nada says, very well. Yotu, Lek, can you do this? And they both nod. And they take blaster carbines. All of the rebels at this point who can walk still are armed with blaster carbines. Are any of you putting on the security jackets? I know you put on one.
I put on security
Is
jackets.
anyone else putting on security jackets?
I think you
I
should.
should, yeah.
And
So
I think
go ahead and
Nada
add plus
should.
1 soak to whatever soak you
Okay.
have already as you put on a sort of a security jacket and you look more official, one might say. You look like an Imperial guard.
What I will do, though, is give one of the comm links to you
Sure.
so we can stay in some communication.
Good thinking.
Well, you have your own comm links that
Oh,
connect
right.
to each
yeah.
other on rebel frequencies.
So what
That
about
would be
like the
better.
people we're
Well,
with?
it'd be good to
Is there
know.
some way to be able
Well,
to make?
I'll still hook you up.
You could tune one of their comm links, to the rebel frequency, totally. One of the military ones, you took off the Imperial
Just so
the
that they'd have a
soldiers.
way to get a hold of us if they need us to head back and give them backup.
Mhm.
Okay.
Totally,
All right.
totally. Okay,
Well,
so if the Gotal Yotu and Lek Huron, the near human, One Eye, are staying, what are the rest of you doing who are not Ty and Tendaar and M5?
Do you want to go after the ships, or do you want to, or do we need to wait till they come back from engineering?
Here's what I'm thinking.
You guys blend right now.
Natus nods. Yeah, we should. I mean, if you're thinking about stealing a ship, we need to get rid of those ties, right?
Yeah, that's number one. Why don't you two head to engineering and start trying to figure out a way, even
Okay.
if it's on a timer or whatever, to get rid of those shields and the tractor beam. We'll head off to the tie hangar and see what we can do.
Then we should all rendezvous at the restricted section.
Yeah, and we'll give a call out. Basically, everyone will have. Yeah, I
We're gonna
nod
probably
to
need
the
to come
guys.
back
I
through
nod to the guys
detention.
at the desk and say, "You let us know when you just check in every time you make a call and let us know, because we'll time it."
The
so-
Gotal looks up at you, and you guys realize that one of you is going to have to carry. Her name is Wetan Garn, the middle-aged human woman with swarthy skin, who is apparently their weapons specialist and is by far the most dangerous member of the team, but apparently has such a hot temper that she got beat down incredibly hard by the Imperials many times as she had tried to escape.
Would it be
So someone needs to carry her or something.
would it be useful to use a med pack on her then?
You
They've
definitely
already
get the
they've
sense
already
that she will not be walking anytime soon.
Yeah, they've
Okay,
already
regardless.
used two
That's
on
just
her.
again.
She needs a
just-
tank.
Yeah, you get the sense that she needs a back to tank, exactly.
There's
It's
a
a
couple
miracle
ways,
that the
So we're gonna
Gotal
need
is
to
even on his
we're
feet.
going to need to come back to grab them.
There's a couple ways to do this.
The Gotal shakes his head. We'll go after we give the all clear. We'll meet you at the restricted.
How are you going to carry the woman?
Well, we'll carry her between us, Lek and I.
I don't know. Can you do that?
The purple skinned guy, he has one eye. He says, yes.
All right, and I'll hand you the data pad. Or I guess there's other data pads. So
There
we can
are.
kind of,
There's
like,
the
look at
frozen data
specs.
pad you have with the special information
Yeah.
that you downloaded. That you do have.
All right,
which
so looking
that's
at that,
valuable information.
Is there anything? But is there anything that we could glean that would help us right now, or is it more? For,
From the data pads?
yeah.
I
Or-
think the only thing you could glean from the data pads is that the restricted section has double security. They have 2 different security checkpoints that each have 10 soldiers each at
Yikes.
them. That is what
All right.
you're able to glean.
Okay.
And so
Yes.
think of it like a baton, right? So there's one security desk and then a long corridor and then another security desk at the end of that long corridor. And then you would get into the restricted hangar bay, basically.
Well,
Cool.
While Ty was rooting around for information, was he able to find anything about Operation Shellcracker?
Good question. He is able to tell you that information is restricted to the engineering section, and he
Okay.
thinks you guys going there together is where you can find that information out.
All right. So we'll head to the tie hangar and
Indeed.
do what we can to sabotage or booby trap the defenses there, while you guys deal with engineering. Then we're gonna head straight on to the restricted section, and I don't know. I guess we'll signal you to blow the ship, and we'll see
What happens?
whether we can draw off enough security.
It's a plan, says Natus. Natus and Zal and Cael, you're all dressed up as basically Imperial soldiers at this point. Not stormtroopers, but Imperial soldiers. You have the flak vests on. You have some carbines or whatever weapons you guys already have. And you look the part a little bit. And you have the credentials at this point as well. As you three take off, turning to the left, basically, and going towards the hangar bay where all the TIE fighters are. Tendaar and TIE and M5. Tendaar and TIE are dressed up like technicians, Imperial technicians, though it is a little odd that Tendaar is a Mon Calamari, but who knows. But you two head straight, going towards engineering. The other three, Yotu and Hook, and or rather Lek Huron and the wounded Garn all stay behind in the detention center, trying to cover your tracks at least for another 10 minutes to give you some more time. But the plan is, after 10 minutes, they'll leave and go to meet you at the restricted area no matter what. Or unless you contact them, basically.
Right.
But that's sort of their if you don't contact them, that's their plan.
That's they'll go.
That's their go.
Okay.
And at some point, some detonation might happen. They don't, whatever. That's sort of superfluous for them at this point. As you guys have your plan, and in true Star Wars fashion, you split up into 3 different groups and rush off to different places. Ty and Tendaar, you are able to make it to engineering most rapidly, seeing it as closest to you. Engineering section is a medium security section, and as you sort of walk in through the doors, you can definitely see that most of the systems sort of found on this station are probably operating independently. Sabotage isn't usually a concern for them, so there isn't a lot going on here, honestly. There are definitely a pair of guards that check your credentials as you come in, but they give them a cursory glance and then just wave you ahead. You definitely can also see that here in the engineering bay, it looks to you like there are lots of different technicians at different terminals, and they're looking at different data and doing different analytics or different tasks. There are also many droids here. No one seems to be paying attention to 2 more technicians and another droid, even though one of them is a... Actually, I think at this point I would like you to make a charm check. I think that's an average charm check. Yes, I think that's appropriate. But you can get a boost on this because you have your buddies with you. As you basically walk in and try and... The guards look at your credentials. And they definitely, you fail, unfortunately. And they seem to say, what is this? And they look at your credentials and say, well, it checks out, Bob.
Thank you.
They give it back to you. But they are like, we're good. You definitely know they're keeping an eye on you.
Right.
They're keeping an eye on you.
So
but you definitely, and Ty, see there are many different terminals here. There isn't much security otherwise besides the 2 guards that are at the door. No one else is here besides technicians and droids. And you definitely see off in the corner just an empty terminal. No one's there.
I'm going to saunter over to the empty terminal.
Cool. The
But
guards are watching
you hear the 2 guards make a tasteless, like, what do you call a Monkar with no fins on deck? Bob.
Hey-o. Good one.
So
Indeed,
rude.
they are watching you.
Okay.
They are watching you like Teresian hawks.
I'll sit down at the terminal and pull up some.
Okay, Ty is with you as well, and he's able to help you. What would you like to do at the terminal?
Can they see what I'm doing at the terminal?
They're watching you very closely. They cannot see. You're basically blocking the terminal with your body, but yeah, they sort of are definitely keeping an eye on you.
I will look for information on Operation Shellcracker.
Awesome. What I will need you to do is make a computer's check. It is a hard check. That's 3 of those guys. If you are trying to do this without sort of drawing the attention of the guards, you'll need to add another setback onto it. But because Ty is with you, you get a boost.
Okay.
And because I don't like you, I'm going to upgrade your check so that when your check rolls turns into a red.
Fishman.
And the dark side, the destiny.
That's not super great.
Not super bad, though. Looks like a failure with advantage. So you do fail. You are not able to bring up any schematics or anything like that, but you also don't feel like you've been locked out of the system.
Okay.
You feel like you could continue to keep going. But you definitely have caught the attention of the guards, and they're moving towards you. And with that, we're going to switch over to our friends who are moving to the hangar bay. The hangar bay is a medium security section as well. It is the secondary hangar bay for sure on the Hammer, and it's been refitted. You can see to handle all of the necessary apparatuses that are very unique to TIE fighters, basically docking them sort of up above so they can just drop and then shoot forward. So they're not docked on the ground. They're actually hanging from basically mezzanines, if you will, above you or overhangs. And as you guys come in, the guards definitely are checking your credentials. They see that you're soldiers, and they sort of look at you and say, well, shift change isn't for a few hours. What are you doing here?
No, there was a little tussle in the detention area. So, they just wanted to do a sweep routine.
You can make a charm or a deception check, as it were.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you made
Really?
it.
Oh, yeah, because it's success, but there's
You take one.
one less.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just something like you're not shaven or something like that. Like you're just like non-reg or something like that, and they're like, shave those sideburns, hippie. And they're like, man, get it together. What's your operating number? And they're like, they don't like you, but they let you by. They're like, we have our eye on you, hippie.
All right. So how do we disable these? What do you think?
Cool. So you guys realize that you're going to need to gain access to a computer terminal probably, and either there's a few ways that you can do this. You think that you can either lock the security clamps down on the ties themselves so they can't detach, or you can close the bay doors so that they're
the
sealed
security
shut.
door, yeah.
And no ties could then emerge from this bay. You don't have any technicians with you. There are many pilots and many technicians in this area. You definitely could easily find a quiet computer terminal to get next to. You also, KL, all of you, think you could muscle this stuff closed as well if you needed to.
Kind of hit the manual switches if we needed to.
Exactly.
I don't know. We didn't bring a tech with us.
Yeah.
But
No, you did not.
I mean, we could ask one of these. We could keep bluffing and ask one of these technicians to run a quote test for us.
I mean, how crowded is it? If we draw attention, are we going to get in trouble?
It is busy. It's not like incredibly crowded. And again, no one really cares about you guys. You're just some other grunts here. The only people who seem to care about you are the soldiers who don't like KL. But they're not exactly like watching him like a hawk.
Yeah,
They're not exactly, but they're like keeping tabs. Like, oh, where is this guy? And is he shaving his sideburns yet?
So you pull out your vibra knife and
start shaving. And what I'll do is kind of
CNR.
I'll leave it to you
Works for
and
everything.
Nissa. I'll kind of just kind of patrol around and just inspect a little
Cool,
bit.
you are inspecting, and you definitely get the sense that with the hangar bay doors sealed, you think that they could probably be opened again, though it would take a matter of minutes probably to do that. Whereas closing the clamps might be more of a thing that would be worse, basically.
All right. So I'll kind of surreptitiously make a clamp motion back to you as I continue to sort of inspect the undercarriages of the ties.
As you're going to the computer terminal with Natus, he's like, this is all Greek to me, or this is all, what does he say?
It's all Arabic to me.
Yeah, this is all Arabic to me. No,
but
he walks over to the computer terminal and he says, this is all Gungan to me. There you go.
Can we get a hold of our techs though who are in engineering? Would they be able to do that remotely from the engineering department?
You definitely can contact them, and you sort of get Ty, and he says, no, the systems are not connected. No.
All right. Is there any way you could kind of walk me through this?
He says, I have my own problems right now. And he says, oh, no, officer. And it, the line goes dead. You get the sense that you're going to need to get to a computer terminal. You have a computer skill that you can use, obviously. It might not be amazing, but you can obviously use it to try and hack into this computer. But you can do some snooping around first. It doesn't take any check. And as you're snooping around the computer terminal with Natus, you basically get the sense that you can either establish an immediate lockdown or a time-delayed lockdown. The time delayed would be harder to do, but you could attempt that on both of these systems that we're talking about. So you could do an immediate lockdown of the clamps and the doors, or you could do a time delayed lockdown of the clamps on the doors. Cool. Switching back over to engineering section. The guards are definitely walking towards you, Tendaar. And Ty's like, oh, it looks like he's trying to intercept them, going, hello, officer. And they sort of push him aside as they're coming towards you. You think you have just a few moments to try and do something more before they get to you. What would you like?
Can I just pull up some routine diagnostics?
Totally. Yeah, you totally pull up some routine diagnostics. Yep, easily. And they get to you. And they say, what's going on over here?
Just running the diagnostics. What is there a problem?
And they sort of look at you, and they say, why does it need two of you and a droid here?
No one seems to trust me around here on my own, so I'm being watched.
Nice. I think that you should, wow, yeah, I think that you should make a coercion check or a negotiation check. It's up to you, whichever you'd like. Yeah, they believe you. They're like, all right, well, we're going to be over there. And they walk off.
Okay, sirs.
Ty comes back to you and he says, oh, try again.
I'll try again.
What kind of information are you trying to find? Do you want to look for the tractor beam, or you want to look for shellcracker again, or something different? You definitely get the sense that you could disable the tractor beams manually or using computers.
You mean there's a switch on the wall that says tractor beam?
No, there's a relay at the station you're at. So you
Okay.
could disrupt that relay basically.
Okay.
But you know that you could also do a time delay as well on this, though it would be more difficult.
I think trying to do a time delay on the tractor beam seems like a good idea.
Cool.
Shut that down.
Go ahead and make a hard computers check as you attempt to program in a time delay on the tractor beam shutting down, and you're going to have to let me know what the time delay is once you make the roll. You'll get a boost on this because Ty is with you and he's helping you out, as well as M5. They love you.
Oops.
In fact, you get 2 boosts because both of them are helping you.
Okay.
And they know if the tractor beams are up, your ride out of here is going to be super short.
Uh-oh.
Son of a gun.
Uh-oh.
Super advantagey.
Super advantagey, but a failure, unfortunately. So you are unable to bring up, or rather, you're unable to time delay the tractor beam, but you definitely feel like that you have no, you don't feel like you've done anything. You oddly, you put in the wrong sequence and some other different information shows up. Restricted information, as a matter of fact. And you are able to learn some information about the shellcracker.
Okay.
Just very, very randomly. Yeah. I mean, hey, who knows? You are able to find just a little bit of information about the shellcracker, that the reason it's called the shellcracker is because it is somehow able to pass through shields, unlike
Yikes.
any other type of starfighter.
Okay.
That's basically the only information you're able to get. We'll switch back to our other friends in the docking bay.
Trying to figure out what to do.
Trying to figure out
So
what
if
to
I do the immediate shutdown on this stuff, it's obviously going to throw up the alert. But
Yes.
how long will it take for them to
You get the sense that if you were able to successfully shut down both things, it would be a total of 7 minutes that they would be delayed.
7 minutes. I
7
don't know if that's
minutes.
necessarily worth doing. I guess I should try to do the timed.
We could have a technician show us how to do it as a routine check.
Okay, I'm willing to see if we can try and do that.
You
Cool.
know how to talk Imperial.
All right.
You grab an Imperial technician, basically. Like, hey, you, come over here.
We had some issues, so they're having us do some extra security checks. We want to make sure that we've gotten all the protocols down. We need you to run through the sequencing for the TIE fighters and for closing the shield doors, so we make sure those are all working correctly.
This is highly irregular, but you should make
It's highly irregular that we've got restricted tech on this base. You know how
sort
it
of
is.
nods at that. And yeah, you guys should make a deception check.
Oh, it's a bounce.
Fortunately, it is not. As the tech says, I don't have time for this, and sort of says no, and walks off.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Time delay.
You guys have a lot of destiny that you could use here to help you out. To do the time delay, you're going to need to
How are
make a
you on
computers
computers?
check.
Not so good.
You
I'm
guys,
2.
You guys can help each other, so whoever makes the roll will get a boost.
You have
And
2?
I have 2.
Me too.
Natus
Okay.
will help you as well to give you an additional boost.
Okay.
This is a hard computers check.
And we'll toss the
stuff
thing
in,
on
yeah.
there. It's a full bounce.
Wow,
across.
just a straight. So you are unable to do it, but you fail, but nothing. You think you could try again if you wanted to. Would you like to try again?
Why don't you take a stab at it?
All right, I'll try.
Let's do the same flip, so you just roll the same dice.
Okay,
Okay.
roll those again. This time Zal's trying at it, but Natus and Cael are helping you out as you attempt to hack into the computer once again.
No, it's
No, it's success.
Oh, okay.
And we got written with no disadvantage, so 2 successes.
Definitely. You are able to hack into the computer and set time delay. How long of a time delay are you setting?
So how long do you think it's been since we walked away from the guys?
All in all, it's probably been closer to 7 or 8 minutes at this point.
Think we should do 20 just to give them one more round of 10? They're going to head over unless we tell
If it's
them.
been like 7 or 8 minutes, if we say like 12 minutes, right?
Okay.
Let's say 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Because that'll give them one more. That'll give them one more comm.
Okay.
And then we say head to the thing. That gives us 10 minutes to 12 minutes to get to the restricted area.
Right.
And then hopefully fly out of there and have everything locked down with time to spare.
So you're setting it for
15 minutes.
15 minutes. And you're radioing your friends to do another
call
delay.
in 2 minutes.
Got it. The go tall Yo2 is there and says, all right.
And so you need to call in one more time. And
Unfortunately, though you are successful, there was so much threat on your roll. Or was there was some threat? That's I re-rolled it. There was some threat on your roll.
There was a little.
And your computer starts to smoke. As the guards who had been taking a good watch on UKL definitely are interested now and start to make their way basically towards you guys. And we're going to flip back to the engineering section. It's tough. The tractor beam is definitely not down, but you think you could try again if you wanted to. But you finding information on the shell cracker would be very difficult. You could also try to do that. You've also been asked to find information about fleet deployments. There might be information like that here as well.
Sure, let's try the fleet deployment.
Okay,
stuff.
it's a hard computers check.
Okie doke.
Triumph counts as a success.
So that is a success.
Awesome. So here's what you basically find out. You find out everything. Not only do you find the exact schedule and manifest for all fleet cargo transports throughout the sector for the next 6 weeks, you also find out the fleet schedule and manifests for their military escorts for the next 3 months, and the size and composition of all schedule military patrols throughout the entire sector for 3 months, as well as the details of all patrols in the sector scale capital ships such as Star Destroyers and other vessels located for around the entire sector for 6 months. So
Yikes.
you just found this wealth of information, basically, that you are now downloading onto your data pad.
Cool. That was my second
You,
question.
you still have not been able to take down the tractor beams. Would you like to try and do that? You get the sense that though they told you have another 10 minutes, basically, that you could try that again if you wanted to.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead and make another hard check. You will have, it's basically the exact
Same
same
dice.
roll.
It's a bounce with advantage.
Yeah. So basically, you get the sense you're not going to be able to, you can't use computers anymore. Like, it's done.
Okay.
But you think you could manually disrupt the relay if you'd like to try that.
Sure.
It's a mechanics check. It's also hard. Yeah, it looks like you're definitely successful. So you're definitely able
Clear
to
your threat.
disable the relay and just to shut off, like just right then and there. And
Click, 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 click. God damn it.
yeah, no. Apparently, your deception has definitely gone unnoticed, as well. So
All right.
You feel like you've definitely been successful.
I look around.
Yeah, no one.
Nobody's-
No, I mean the guards were very suspicious of you, but they basically shot their wad too early, and you're like, nope, not doing anything. And they're like, oh, okay. So they're still sort of watching you, but they don't. Yeah. You look fine. You think that it will take some time to you
Okay.
basically broke a piece in half.
All right, cool. I will take it.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys are just
I'll bring up something benign.
yeah,
on the,
very innocuous. And you get up, and basically you and Ty and M5 walk out the other door as you start heading to the restricted area. Is that right? Switching back to the Starfighter Bay, your computer terminal is smoking as you have been able to successfully do the time delay on the clamps and the doors, but obviously gotten the attention of the guards. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna kick the thing.
Okay.
And go. This is ridiculous. We're supposed to run normal security protocols, but the tech doesn't have the clearance. This is a joke. I just throw my arms up and like stomp around in a circle.
They sort of shake their heads at you like it plays into their narrative that you don't know what you're doing and you need to shave your sideburns and that you are just a disgrace. But they seem to take that on at face value and basically turn around and walk away like that they're not surprised that you fucked up.
Yeah. Things are fine here. Let's
get why the getting.
Yeah, Natus is like, yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna call in. So we have like 8-9 minutes or something, maybe, if
maybe.
that. So I'll call in. Let's set this thing to blow.
Cool.
Okay.
The Gotal says we're leaving, and they're obviously leaving the detention center. You've left the hangar bay. You've left the engineering section. You're all sort of making your way independently to the restricted areas entrance, as Cael suggests over the comm to you, Tendaar, that use M5 to blow the Lambda class shuttle. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'll find a innocuous corner and sort of lean over and.
Cool. It'll take about 3 rounds for it to detonate, as we mentioned. As basically you start to see, like, in our bush, like this countdown. Think of, like, those Predator symbols.
Yeah.
Like, it sort of looks like that on, like, this interface of M5 as it's counting down. You and Ty were the closest people to the restricted area, just in proximity. And you finished pretty quickly before everyone else. So you actually arrived first.
Okay.
And just as you are getting the final connections finished and the countdown begins, Zal and Natus and Cael come around the corner and you see them and you guys basically meet up. Natus is like, are we ready? Should we go to this security post?
We're good to go on our end.
What's our story?
Rebels got out.
Rebels got out.
That's it. It's our go-to. Rebels are bad.
So we need to reinforce the restricted area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sending in extra reinforcements because the rebels got out
Yeah.
and we don't know what's going on.
Cool. Are you guys trying to get this deception off before the bomb goes off or after the bomb goes off?
This is going to be before.
So you guys are
Before,
basically
yeah.
rushing right up there. You do not have your other 3 members with you, if you will. You don't have Yotu, the Gotal. You don't have Lek Huron, the purple-skinned guy. And you obviously don't have the unconscious woman, Wetan Garn, with you. They haven't appeared yet. You don't know where they are. But you guys are heading towards the security sector?
We'll hope the blast clears a way for them to get to us.
Plus,
Cool.
hopefully the blast will happen at a time where if we're starting to get really heavily questioned, and if the blast happens, then it's kind of reinforces that
We got to go.
there's rebel activity and
And we'll call them on the comm and be like, just get as close as you can, but stay out of sight. When there's a lot of activity, when the ant hill starts buzzing.
All
then
right. So you guys are heading towards the security checkpoint. There are 10 guards at each of the checkpoints. As you guys are walking up, trying to keep your cool, they are staring you down. And one of them sort of holds up their hand as you get there. Who's in the front of the group?
I'm in the front. Okay.
Yeah, because
So-
you have the most like Imperial info.
There's been trouble in the detention area. Some of the rebels have escaped. We've been sent to reinforce this area.
They nod at that. You're going to need to make a deception check. This is a daunting check. It's going to be 4 purples. You're pretty good at deception, huh? I definitely will give you a boost because you have a bunch of personnel with you, security personnel.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that's a despair. Despair counts as a failure.
So that's a bounce with
Despair.
a lot of despair.
Yeah, it's despair now. It's bad news. So, yeah, that's just a full-on fail, despair, bad news. They look at you up and down, and then they look at everyone else and say, we shut these rebels in the detention center just last week. Who are you? And I think we should all, at this point, roll cool checks because it's quite clear that they are going to fire on you. Cael goes.
So I'm gonna go something pithy. That's what he says.
Something pithy.
He goes like, "We told you, there's rebels behind you." As I throw my frag grenade.
Now would be a
Nice.
good time for that. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw. Boop, boop, boop,
You have
boop.
2 of each, so don't feel shy.
I'm gonna start with an AP
I'll
grenade.
start with the AP grenade. All right, go ahead and make
I
your
mean,
throw.
these are personnel.
Go ahead and make your throw check. They are definitely personnel. Make
right.
that throw check.
Normal.
It is an average. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be 3 over.
Yes. So you get a bit of blast back, and some shrapnel goes into your sort of slits through your thigh, and you take a strain.
Yeah. So I take some strain.
But you take 1 strain, but you definitely hit the person you were aiming at. Do you hit anyone else?
I have to like.
That's
It
based
doesn't,
off of
AP doesn't have
advantage,
blast,
right?
so it's
Yeah.
just a straight like.
Cool. How much does it do?
I threw it at the guy, like the guy who basically was kind
Right.
of questioning us or
Yeah,
whatever.
totally.
It's gonna do. I mean, it's Pierce 3,
Right.
and it's gonna do 16, 17, 18, 19 damage.
Yeah, you just vaporize him basically. So,
Yeah.
Poof, poof, and he just vaporized. Zal or Tendaar, you could go right now if you wanted to. Effectively, there are 3 PC slots, then the NPCs. So you guys can just.
And
go.
now there are 9 targets left.
There are 9 targets left. That is very true.
I guess I'm confused about grenades. Like how big is the radius of a
Effectively, the
grenade?
radius gets bigger the more advantage you get on your roll. So
Okay.
You're not guaranteed to hit one person, but you aim at one person, and then everyone adjacent to them basically gets hit in the blast, or more people get hit in the blast adjacent to them. The better you do with advantages.
So is it possible that it spills over into hitting your own party?
Normally not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it depends on if your party is in melee with the person you're throwing the grenade at. Then yes,
All right.
possibly, yeah.
Well, I'll throw a stun grenade.
Cool.
Then.
Go ahead and throw your stun grenade. As you guys take a really smart action to fucking throw grenades at these people.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you throw?
It'll say next to the thing.
Yeah, it should say.
Oh,
next
okay.
to it.
Yeah.
And it'll be average, so it'll be 2 purple. Ooh. Yay. That is a failure with a despair, which means that it detonates on you. What is that?
I'll show you.
It just explodes in your hand. What is the effect of this?
It is
thing?
a stun grenade. You deal 8 stun damage on a hit plus 1 damage per.
Cool. You take
uncancels.
8 stun damage then.
Okay.
So you can soak however much of that 4. So it's against your strain. The strain
Okay.
damage. So you've
Okay.
taken quite a bit of strain. How much strain do you have left?
I have 3 left.
Okay, good to know.
How
When-
do you cancel strain?
Basically, after an encounter, you can make a cool check to regain strain. So you
Oh, shit.
you can do that now since we didn't do that before. If you'd like to, since
Yeah.
you had some time to do that. So why don't you just make a cool check? It's just cool. Cool. So you gain back 3 strain.
Okay.
Do you want to take a maneuver or anything like that, Tendaar? You can move if you wish.
Is there a nearby computer terminal?
There is, and in fact, you can see it looks to you like halfway down the hallway between the 2 security stations. There is a blast door that looks like it could close or open. Yes, there is.
Okay.
There's definitely a computer terminal here at this security
I will
station.
make my way towards the computer
Cool.
terminal.
You move the computer terminal, Zal or Zal. Yeah.
I'm going to throw a frag grenade. Or no, an
Please.
AP grenade.
Please do this. Nice.
Success.
How much damage do you do?
16 damage on a hit plus 1
17.
damage.
Yeah, you just destroy them. Like it's just pop. You just have vaporized 2 of them at this point.
Pop, stun, pop.
Pop. It's like they go. They are definitely firing.
So they're down 3 guys. Or
2.
They're down 2.
2 guys, okay.
We're down half of 1.
They're definitely firing at y'all's. And basically, this is like a minion group. So they all take their action together, and they're all firing together. Is that how that works? Oh, no. They're all firing independently. So there's 8 of them, and there's 6 of you. So everyone will get an attack, and then the 2 who threw grenades successfully will get 2 more. So that will be a success on you, John, or rather KL, and you'll take 9, 10, 11, 12 damage.
All right, so I soak 6, so I'm at 9.
Yep. And they fire at you again, and they are not successful. You're fired at twice, Zal. Choo, 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 as these things are just ringing out all over the place. Unsuccessfully on that one. And triumph on this one as you are critical. And here's what happens. As you crit, you lose 2 strain immediately, and you now have a crit, just like you are. No one else. You do. So the next time, if you take another crit, it'll be worse. Basically, like they add on top of each other.
Okay.
Critical hits are basically the way you die in this game as well. If you hit a certain threshold, then you die. Additionally, though, they crit you and they do 9 damage to you.
And you soak. Remember, you soak an extra 1 because of your arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're soaking
I'm soaking 5 then?
5. Yeah, you
Okay.
soak 5 of the 9.
So it'd be 4.
And then you're fired at Tendaar successfully, and you will take 10 damage.
10 damage.
10 damages.
Holy shits.
This is against our good friend M5 is destroyed as he is blasted into pieces.
No!
M5 is destroyed. Yeah. Ty is shot as well, and his cousin Natus is missed as all these blaster rifles are just fired everywhere. Ty yells out, "No!" as M5 is also shot, and they're firing with their blaster carbines back at the dudes, as it were. Not super successfully, unfortunately. One of the Imperials is hit. Looks like another hit like that would probably kill him. But yeah, so they're just all firing back and forth, basically, as you guys are in this pitched battle. And it's a PC slot. Tendaar, you would go, or anybody who wants to go. It's 3 PCs, then the NPCs.
All right, I'll throw a frag grenade now into the cluster of dudes.
Do you want to throw it at the wounded one or at a non-wounded?
I'm gonna throw it at some non-wounded. It'll
Non-wounded.
kind of
Cool.
I think it'll wash a little bit.
That looks pretty good.
The hits are good. That's not so great for that. But so it's gonna be blast 6. So hit all characters, engage with target for 6 damage, plus 1 for so the main target is gonna take 10.
And is there any? Yeah, just 10.
10. Well, that's with because it's
cool. They
2.
soak 4, so they only take 6.
So it just hits that guy.
Yep, hits that guy and pops on him and shreds him a bit. Any move or anything like that you want to make? Cael?
I will. So is there like bulkheads or computer consoles or any sort of?
Yeah, there's a security station basically on your left where the computer is that Tendaar is sort of running for. You can see further down the corridor ahead of you, it looks like there's a blast door that could close halfway through it. And then even more further down the corridor, there's the second security station where it looks like there are some guards who are taking notice of what the fuck is going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna duck towards the edge and see if there's any like a bulkhead or something I can.
Yeah, you take cover.
behind it.
That you totally can do that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, Tendaar, who would like?
I was going to just try to get to the computer terminal
And?
and try to close the blast doors.
You want to close the blast doors. Totally. That's the way you need to go. The blast doors would close on the way that you would then need to
Right,
go.
but my fear is that
you
we're
would
going to
stop
end up...
those guys from...
Right.
Go ahead and make a computer's check. It's average. As you hack into the security terminal and begin to try and shut the blast doors. You're totally successful. Not only that, you triumph. So you shut them, and you get this. You find out that there's actually a secret like security hatchway that's right underneath your feet that you think you could. It's kind of small. You guys would need to crawl through it, but you could easily crawl underneath the ducts to get past the blast doors and past the guards. Probably once these guards are dead that you're fighting.
Cool.
Cool. Well done.
I will save that information for when the fight is stopped.
Zal, it's your go.
I will throw my other AP grenade.
Go ahead and throw it, please. Are you throwing at someone who's damaged or someone who's not damaged?
Someone who's not damaged.
Got it.
No, it's a
Success
success with
with
2,
advantage.
and you did a what grenade?
AP.
AP.
So you just shred one of them, basically, right?
Yeah.
You just shred them. And you can give a boost to yourself or to someone else on their next roll, basically.
I'll give a boost to you on the next
Okay. Oh, you get a boost on your next roll. The enemies are firing, of course. 2 of them fire at Natus and Ty, and Natus is struck. It looks like that he could probably only take one more hit before he drops. Ty is still pretty healthy looking. The others all fire at you guys, basically. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And so 2 on each of you and 1 on you, Tendaar.
Yikes.
Tendaar, you are hit, and you're going to take 10 damage.
That puts me at 0
Okay,
or 12 wounds. All of them.
Did you soak as well?
Yep.
Okay.
cool. So you're at 0, so you take an immediate critical hit, which means that you lose...
Oh, you didn't roll, right?
yeah, you lose 2 strain, so just go ahead and knock that off. And you can still act, basically. You just cannot take maneuvers. Like, you're basically on the ground now.
But you could like pop a
Can you-
stem.
Yeah,
Attack
yeah.
us to
You
pack?
could do
Okay.
that on your turn. You guys are both attacked twice, but it's not your turn yet. You guys are both attacked twice. You are missed, Cael, once.
And I'm behind cover, right? A little partial cover,
good
at least.
call. You are behind cover. You are hit, though, the second time as you take 9 points of damage. You're attacked twice, Zal, as you are hit for 9 points of damage. And you are hit again for 9 points of damage.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so that's...
You're soaking 5.
Yeah.
So you're going to take 8 in total then.
8 total, yeah. Then I'm 8. Yeah, I'm definitely down.
Okay. You're
Second critical.
you had already taken a critical.
Yeah.
So this is your second one.
Oh no!
So you will be suffering a setback, a black die to your next check. Whatever check you make next, you'll add a black die to it.
Okay.
Okay. Because you have been crit now twice by these guys. The NPCs go, of course, as well. They are successfully able to kill the 2 that you guys had
wounded.
previously wounded. Exactly.
So what are we down to?
You are now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 of them left. You've killed half of them. As we go to the top of the round, and it is 10, whoever wants to go.
So I guess I'll use my boost, and I'm going to throw my last frag grenade, I guess.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, it's that, it won't definitely toast someone, but it'll...
Yeah, it makes sense. It has the most potential to do the most damage to the most number of people.
Yeah.
Do it.
Unless you have
The AP grenade, totally ruins. We'll just
Yeah,
straight up kill someone.
You have 1 of those left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I have 1
frag
of each.
grenades will do, is it possible to do multiple damages, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But,
And since
yeah.
I do have the focus,
Yep.
I may as well go for it. And I'll...
Yeah, do it.
Dark
I
side.
think we're already there, so it's good to...
It looks like you made it for sure, though.
Yeah.
And you got some, again, though, not enough advantage,
Yeah, that's a bummer.
unfortunately.
So these
That is
are
a bummer.
So it's 2 extra damage.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the main target's going to take 10 damage.
10 damage, cool. You shred him. He soaks 4 and takes 6 damage. And he's shred. Zal, what would you like to do?
Pop a stim.
Yeah, I'm going to pop a stim.
You pop a stim and gain 5 wounds.
Okay.
Okay, that's a maneuver to pop. So you actually can take an action as well if you would like.
Can I throw another grenade?
Fuck yeah, you can.
Okay.
What kind of grenade are you throwing?
It's going to have to be frag because I already threw both
All
my
right,
APs.
so you have the black die on this along with
Yeah.
the regular. Nice.
So there's a bounce. That's a full bounce,
That's
though.
indeed. So basically, you throw it and it's a dud.
Okay.
So you can subtract it. It just doesn't do
right.
anything. Boop. Tendaar,
I'm going to pop a stim pack.
you pop a stim pack. As I mentioned, that is a maneuver. You can take an action as well. You gain 5 wounds.
I guess take cover.
Okay, you can take some cover. Awesome. Yeah, you duck down. Are you going into the shaft? Are you opening up that door and going down?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Awesome. Yeah, you open up that secret shaft that you found and you're climbing down into a duct. It is their turn, meaning the Imperial Guards. And they are firing at you. They really don't like you, Cael. They're actually 3 of them are firing at you at this point. Oh, no, that's a total miss. Never mind. It's a miss. And another miss. And now a hit. As you take 9 damage.
Okay.
Zal, one of them will fire at you. Definitely striking you for 10 damage.
Oof.
And that drops you again,
Yeah.
from what I understand. And you're going to take a 3rd critical injury. Now you're going to suffer a setback die on all checks, no matter what.
Oh, jeez.
Anytime you make a roll. They're firing at you guys. One of them looks at where Tendaar was, and Tendaar's gone. And he actually turns back to Natus, the big bear rebel with you, and fires right at him. He hits Natus in the chest. Natus drops. And his cousin, Ty, goes, "No!" And pushes his arms forward as all of the Imperial troops are blown backwards. As some
Force.
supernatural force, if you will, has blown all of these Imperials to their feet, or rather to the ground. And now we're at the top of the round again, and whoever wants to go can go.
So we've got 5 still.
There are
and one
5
is
still,
damaged.
and 1's damaged.
And
That's
they're all-
right.
and they're-
Actually, they're all damaged at this point
'Cause
they've
they're
all
prone.
Been, exactly, they've all been sort of thrown.
Okay. And I threw my frag. I have an AP grenade
You
left.
do.
Yeah, so I'll toss my AP grenade at a guy.
Go ahead and make it. Make that
And-
check.
See how it goes. So So that is a bounce.
Yeah, it's a failure with a threat. So you'll take a strain, and your AP grenade is a dud, unfortunately. As it,
And I will take some cover.
Cool. Yeah, you grab some cover as you do that. Zal, what would you like to do?
Can I get to the bear guy and
I should have popped a stim.
try and give him a stim pack?
Definitely.
Okay.
You run over to him and give him a stim pack, and if you want to take 2 strain, you could even take an action if that's something you would like to do.
I have 1 frag grenade left, but I have like...
Do it.
All right, we'll do it.
Wow, that was good.
Indeed. Her frag grenade goes off, and I think she might even have some advantage, possibly. Nope.
No
But
advantage.
2 successes. So it does 7 damage, I guess.
Yep.
And you're definitely able to shred one of the guys with it.
Okay,
as it
good.
goes off. And there are only 4 left that are still on the ground. They're sort of dazed and hurt. Tendaar, what would you like to do? You are down there now by yourself. You see that there is basically like a crawl space that heads in the direction of the restricted hangar.
But there's still a firefight.
Above you,
Right.
yeah, you have effectively escaped it at this point. You could return to it, or you could press forward.
Well, I would like to pop another stim pack.
Definitely, you gain 4 wounds back. Okay, anything else you want to do, Tendaar?
I guess I'll start crawling.
Cool. Yeah, you can definitely start crawling. You basically are, you're start crawling. Imperial soldiers, they are getting their feet and basically retreating at this point as they're sort of, they're going to use both their moves to get to the blast doors, and they're going to try and open them basically. It doesn't look like they're able to do that right now, but that's what they're doing. Ty has dropped his blaster carbine, is just like looking at his hands like he has no idea what the fuck had just happened. Like something crazy just happened.
All right, so I'm gonna pop a stim pack and then take a shot, some turkey shooting.
Go ahead and make your shot.
All right, and one of the guys who looks I don't know.
Oh, before you do this, I apologize. A few things happened. The Yotu and the purple skin guy, One Eye, and the comatose lady, they come around the corner. And as they do, the entire station shakes as an incredibly large explosion happens in the main hangar bay. And you feel the entire station sort of shake for a moment. And it's almost like, it's just like a shudder goes through everything. Cael, you can definitely make your attack.
All
But
right.
obviously, your bomb has gone off.
Yeah.
That
so
was
that's
really good.
Some brutal stuff.
Yeah, you just vaporize one of them, basically.
Yeah. So I shoot one and just take the one who's closest to the manual.
Yeah,
triggers
exactly.
on the blast door, and
Yeah.
and it the shot actually like also fuses the manual controls on
Yes,
the blast
exactly.
door, so it's
So they
not
can't open
it's not going
manually.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I pop a stim pack
Cool.
to gain 5.
You don't gain. Remember, it's diminishing returns.
I haven't used them.
Oh,
I've
okay.
just
Cool.
only used
Sorry,
them on other
then I've
people.
been thinking about other people. My apologies. Zal, what's up? There's 3 of them left. They are basically at long range from you now. They've retreated. They were close. They moved to medium and then long. So I don't think your blaster pistol can even hit them at long range. I could be wrong.
Because they're farther.
Yeah, you might want to look.
Look at what the range is.
Yeah, it's medium.
Yeah, so
They're
you
long
can't even
range.
hit them unless you move up towards them. But you definitely saw Tendaar disappear behind the security desk, which the security guards have now fled.
And is Nissa down or he's got?
Yes, he is. Natus Breely fell, and his cousin is sort of out of it and hasn't
Right.
gone over to him
But you
yet.
put-
All right,
You
I
put
gave him a stim pack in it. Yeah, I'll
and
yell
so
at
he's,
Ty.
he's awake, but
Ty,
But
get
he's
it
so-
together. Help me.
okay.
And then
cool.
I can I give him another stim pack?
I would actually like you to make a leadership check.
Okay.
So leadership, and you are at you do have a setback on this, of course, because you have taken so many crits. But I'll give you a boost because you are definitely stepping up into the leadership role. This is good. Yep. Flush, meaning that you fail.
Okay.
And he looks at you and he says, "I don't. But I bah." He seems incredibly just out of it. Tendaar, what would you like to do?
I'll go over the comms. Guys, there's a hatchway. Follow me down when you get a chance. It's a way through to circumnavigate the guard stations.
Awesome. And what else would you like to do? You have a maneuver and an action, or you could take 2 maneuvers and just move twice, or...
I'll just keep motoring down the
Cool,
little
yeah, you
tunnel.
move twice. You
Yeah.
know that you've gone past the blast door at this point, and you think you're nearing the other hatch, basically out the other Other side. The NPCs go. They're frantically trying to tear the door open. And no. And yes. And no. So yeah, they're sort of, one of them is able to sort of jimmy, like is physically using his like now blaster carbine to like wrench open the door, the blast doors, and you see the 10 other guards on the other side like trying to get in there as well to open the doors to help them. But that's all they're doing. The other NPCs have basically come up and they're all either firing or helping their downed comrades or moving them basically towards the secret tunnel, the hatchway, and they're able to take out one of the Imperial soldiers basically by firing at him. Cael, what would you like to do?
I will shoot at an Imperial soldier.
Make your attack, please. I mean, at this point, actually, don't make your roll. I think I'm just going to go ahead and narrate this. You're such a great shot. You're
and
able
these
to take
guys aren't
out-
even, they're
Exactly.
distracted, yeah.
Yeah, you're able to take out one, and you guys basically leave the last one, and everyone's rushing towards the secret hatch. You guys are going down the secret hatch because the one that you shot, the door slapped shut again, KL. So they're having their trouble even opening this thing back up. You guys are able to make it your way into the shaft, basically this sort of tunnel hatch where you have to crouch down and crawl, basically the length of it. Tendaar, you're the first one on the other side. Who's going to be right behind Tendaar?
I'd say some of the injured people because they were the ones going
Okay,
in
then
first.
the injured people who are basically the people who came from the detention center are now doing that, and they're in the middle there. Cool. So Tendaar, you are actually the first one to open up the hatch and see finally the restricted area that you've been searching for so long. This tertiary hangar bay is the smallest of those found on the Hammer and is presently being used exclusively for housing the prototype. You get the sense that its attendant crew and support equipment are also housed here. There are no other ships or non-essential personnel in this area. It does seem to you that all of the personnel have sort of taken cover. The explosion of the bomb and the firefight at the security doors. You get the sense that the shell cracker, which you're actually able to see for the first time, it had a crew around it, but no longer. The prototype to you, it looks, the best way I can put it is it looks like a shot put. Ship-sized shot put. It has no discernible seams or anything like that. It's almost like an orb, except where one sort of oval type door has like seemed to have projected out of it, and a landing ramp has come down from that. So it's open, doesn't look like anybody's around it, and you guys are basically getting up here. I think everyone should make stealth checks at this point, as you're all stealthing over to the shell cracker.
That's a fail with an advantage.
Fail with an advantage. That is also a failure with advantage. And a straight success. Cool. Tendaar, you're in front. You're easily able to get to this thing first.
Okay.
Everyone else is rushing behind you. I made checks for the NPCs. Some of them are stealthy, some of them are not. Obviously, they're dragging unconscious people. It's a miracle that you're even able to get all 5 of them out of this alive. Well, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. As Tendaar, you get to the shell cracker. Are you entering?
Yeah, I'll go on up.
Go on in. The air within the prototype smells of ozone, as if electrical work had been conducted shortly before you came in here. As you approach the cockpit, numerous lights and systems begin to power up. The good news is that the internal sensors seem to be responding to your presence, and you're getting a jump start on making the ship ready for takeoff. The bad news is that someone outside will detect this. As you sit down in the cockpit, klaxons start to sound. Unauthorized activity aboard prototype. The unnervingly calm voice of the intercom reports, unauthorized activity detected. Emergency hangar seal in process. As you guys are basically stealthing towards the shell cracker, the guards notice you and they see you, especially as the klaxons start to go off. At that point, additionally, it sounds like just alarms are ringing through the entire station at this point. The detention center hasn't checked in. An explosion has happened in the hangar bay. Obviously, the restricted prototype is now being messed with by someone. Everything seems to sort of go off at the same time. You and your companions are able to rush onto the shell cracker as you shut the seal, you can see that this ship's complement is 1 pilot, 1 co-pilot, and 1 gunner. There's also a passenger capacity for 6 people here. You're definitely able to fit everyone in here. Who's taking a pilot, co-pilot, and gunner position?
I'm
You're
taking
our
pilot.
pilot.
Yeah.
Pilot.
If there's, I guess, barring a computer station, I will take the co-pilot.
Co-pilot, and then
And I'll
gunner. Awesome. There are forward-mounted medium laser cannons on here, which are linked, and there's a dorsal twin light ion cannon as well on this thing. So you can switch between them. You let me know which one you want to fire. But basically, as you guys are watching from the viewpoint, rows of lights turn from yellow to green in the cockpit, and troops are scurrying throughout the hangar bay now, many of them pointing to you in the window, calling for support of one form or another. The glimmering opening that leads to the vast void beyond you, it's actually beginning to slowly shrink as these massive blast doors are closing.
I'm going to just open fire.
Yeah, are you firing with the forward-mounted medium laser cannons or the dorsal twin light ion turret?
I think the ion turret's more against ships.
Yes, definitely. You know that the laser cannons will do more damage straight up. Yeah, that the ion is definitely good against ships.
I'll fire the ion just sort of inside, like at and around the bomb bay doors and sort of at consoles.
You're getting the sense that this shellcracker should be equipped with like really heavy-duty proton bombs. In fact, you guys, as you're getting the layout of the ship, really get the sense that this is actually a heavy-duty bomber, that it's meant to break through shields and then drop crazy-ass bombs. But there aren't any bombs that have been given to it yet, if it's still a prototype. As you guys are powering up, you can see almost like a hexagonal shape, like lattice work of energy sort of going around the ship. You're getting the sense the shell-cracking prototype is powering up itself. So you guys could move through shields if you needed to. Zal, as you're powering up, I need you to make a piloting check, and I need you to make a gunnery check, please. Cael, as you're blasting at Imperial personnel who are now all around you.
Hit with advantage.
Cool. Yeah, you're blasting them apart. Are you helping her out, Tendaar, Zal? Or are you trying to help?
I'll help.
Co-pilot?
I'll help.
Well, and I have a question. The skilled jockey thing. That means I
Skilled-
can take one of the blacks
Sure
away.
does.
Okay, good.
Sure does. You're a skilled jockey, so you are not. Your setback goes away as you get into a very comfortable seat of flying a plane. You can fly anything, even the space cow.
Even the space.
Normal or what's the...
This is an average piloting space check.
All right.
Space piloting. Very well done. Incredibly well done, as a matter of fact, because the very important part for this check is actually your advantages. For each advantage on this roll, you reduce the amount of time the startup takes completely by 1 round.
So that's 6 advantage.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome.
Good job.
Boot her up and get her out of here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you're ready to go in a moment's notice. Like, just, you are so comfortable. These controls seem very familiar to you. You get her started and get her ready to go, and the shellcracker is now floating, and you're flying forward, and I need you to make another piloting space check, please. That is an average check, and you may also have a boost on this one.
Okay.
The blast doors are sort of looming towards you as the ship is spiraling sort of now out of the hangar bay. They're shutting and shutting. You're not sure if you're going to be able to make it past them. And that's exactly what this is. Small arms fire is hitting all on the shields as they're firing their blaster carbines, but it's really not doing much. They don't have any heavy weapons here to try and shoot at you. You guys can definitely see that the void of space ahead of you is waiting. There aren't any ships out there. You definitely get the sense that your time clampdown of the TIE fighters has gone into effect. And Zal, you are successfully able to spin the shellcracker around outside as you're spiraling out of the hangar bay. There's a strange crackling sound as you clear the particle shield, accompanied by a shuddering sensation and a much stronger ozone smell. It might be your imagination, but you think you hear the squeal of metal on metal as well as the prototype clears the bay and breaks free of the hammer, hopefully for good. The moment the ship is clear, though, you transmit the prearranged signal to alert the Alliance of your departure. The tractor beams have then been disabled, and with the station rapidly shrinking behind you, it seems that you have made it out of this mess with your hides intact after all, and having saved all the special ops. The navicomputer calculations are almost complete, but of course, nothing is ever that simple. Before this final computation, you see the proximity sensor starting to go off. without sort of the warning you of approaching ships. A dozen TIE fighters emerge smoothly from the asteroid field nearby and accelerate towards you at top speed. Suddenly, you see the unmistakable profile of X-Wings, Nightmare Squadron, as they emerge from hyperspace. The fact that you are sandwiched between these two fighting forces is something that occurs to you only seconds thereafter.
Yikes.
Yikes! You can do a number of things as a pilot. Those things can be anything from accelerate, decelerate, meaning go faster, go slower, flying, just moving. Evasive maneuvers is a maneuver you could take. Stay on target is a maneuver you could take, where you're aiming at something. Punch it is a maneuver you could take, where you moved your full speed in one go instead of incrementally. Additionally, you could gain the advantage. That's an action. You could do damage control if you're...
I think I want to punch it. Take a full throttle action, make a hard piloting check to increase the vehicle's top speed by 1 for a number of rounds.
Awesome. Go ahead and make that check. You punch it. The Skullcracker ramps up to its top speed, and you're trying to even coax more juice out of this thing as you're doing that. What are you doing, Cael?
I'll take an ion pot shot at the guys out there.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you definitely are. You are such a great pilot, Zal. It's amazing that you're able to push this thing even past its what it's supposed to be able to do, and you're able to get it up to an even higher speed than what it's able to do. The speed that it's going at currently is faster than any TIE fighter could go that you know of, and you're totally just zipping away from it. It's not going as fast as X-Wings go. They seem to have a bit more get up and go than the Shellcracker, even at this very enhanced speed. As you're firing the ion cannons.
That is a big failure with a lot of advantage.
Is a big failure with a lot of advantage. You just miss, and you can gain back as many strain as you have advantage, as you feel very comfortable in this awesome turret with this ion cannon firing. Tendaar, anything you want to do? You're a co-pilot, so you could perform evasive maneuvers. You could gain advantage. You could fly into a certain specific direction.
What's our plan here?
Just get out of here. I mean, just try and get. If we can beat the TIE fighter to the speed we're going now. The X-Wings can keep up with us. We can all just get out of here without engaging.
Okay.
I mean, you might want to think about evasive maneuvers, which makes it harder for you to be hit.
Well, let's do some
You're
evasive
doing-
maneuvers.
You're sort of zigzagging as would you get on? Oh, you missed. That's
I
right.
missed,
But you
yeah.
can do that. Yeah. The TIE fighters are firing back at you guys with their ion cannons.
They're going for stuns.
Yeah, right.
Well, they don't want to blow up their prototype.
Apparently, they're shooting pot shots at you first, but they don't want this prototype to get away. And they're definitely firing at you, as that is a success. Your ship, you have shields of 1. You have an armor of 4. You have a hull trauma of 20. Anyways, your shields are able to soak some of it, but the forward-mounted lasers do 6 damage, basically. Your shields soak 1, and then your armor soaks 4, but you still take 1 damage of hull trauma, so you have 19 left. As the ship is shaking, basically, as they're just all firing at you. And you're missed otherwise. The X-Wings go, and they fly to your defense. As basically a dogfight starts to ensue between these TIE fighters and these X-Wings. As green and red energy is lancing through the air. Saul, what would you like to do?
Just keep pushing forward.
Awesome. You are just hell-bent on escape.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you're doing. Is your momentum is keeping you going. What would you like to do, Cael?
I'll take a shot behind
And
us.
you do.
And that is a 3 successes and with an advantage.
Awesome. You destroy one of them. It's just basically
Ioned out.
Actually, ions
You send
out.
it
Exactly.
spinning
It's
wildly. It's dark.
wildly. It doesn't explode, but it's all of its
dark,
energy.
yeah.
It's dark. All of its systems have been destroyed. Anything for you, Tendaar? The ship has been damaged. You could try and...
that's what I was gonna think. Can I try to repair said ship?
Definitely. Yes. Yeah, you definitely can. You can use mechanics.
How does solid repairs play into this?
If you're successful, you'll just
Okay.
do an additional point of hull trauma given back. But you've only lost 1, so if you're successful, it'll be a great success no matter what. Awesome. You're definitely able to cure and repair that hull damage. You get to know this ship you're starting to get to know it well. It seems to make sense to you. You guys are perfect. I mean, Zal is able to zip away. You're able to destroy one of the TIE fighters. The TIEs and the Nightmare Squadron are dogfighting. Nightmare Squadron is definitely getting the better of them as a few of those X-Wings peel off to escort you, and you all jump to hyperspace. You know exactly the location you're heading to. The prototype is escorted to a prearranged destination in a dead system where a ship of Alliance technicians will examine the stolen prototype from every possible angle to ensure it has no tracking devices or other means for the Empire to locate it. After that, the ship will obviously disappear and be very much taken care of. For you guys, you are celebrated by Alliance Command, and again, you find yourselves now in the limelight and probably in line for promotion as you're all promoted in rank. Also, Corvus Sector, especially Whisper Base, seems to really take heart, and Commander Elmac produces a great banquet for all of you as you return.
With that, our story ends. We'll return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at LordJoho, and you can find me on Instagram at board_ghost. Ken, where can people find you?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. You can find me, Ken Breese, on Twitter. I love Twitter. I'm at Burling's Beard, BERLINGS Beard. I'm also doing some Twitch streaming at that same name. I have Instagram at the same name. And what's the other thing I do, John?
A blog.
Yeah, I do my blog. Thanks, John.
All right. Steve, what about you?
I can be found on Instagram at Steve Moves.
All right. And Stacey, where can people find you?
And I'm on Instagram as well at Stadamo.
All right. Well, thank you again, our Sith Lord, for playing us through.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of
You're
fun.
welcome. And thank you, Stacey and Steve, for coming on. You guys are always so awesome. And we have a cool little Star Wars crew.
Yeah.
Making some waves in the galaxy.
Space calves.
Space calves. I like that. If that's the name, I'm wholeheartedly for.
All right. So to learn more about the players and engine in our story, please visit boardghost.com. You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter, BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Please leave reviews and comments on iTunes or your preferred listening portal, and take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop.